Hey guys, this is June the 16th, 2022. I'm outside under my favorite tree. Um, and I got something to say. Last night, something came to me from God last night. And I feel like it's something that He wanted me to share with you guys. Um, and it's about, well, it's about what's going on in the world. But I just want to, first I want to say that uh, I'm feeling a lot better. I did what I knew I had to do, which was flip off my power. I've been turning on some of my power so I could have a fan in my bedroom, because it's so hot. Um, but I knew eventually they were going to find a way to use that to hit me with, so that's pretty much what they were doing. They were feeding off of the power that I was using to run my fan, so I just had to just go out and just cut the breaker again, just so I could stay in my house. I couldn't breathe inside my house for the radiation that was being sprayed through my electrical system. So I ended up turning off the main breaker outside, and you can say I'm pretty much off grid. I mean, I've still got, I could turn my breaker back on if I need to, but only if I want to breathe in the radiation and be hit with a microwave. So what I'm trying to do is just stay completely without power. Anyway, I'm feeling better. I'm not being hit as bad with the microwaves, when the power's off. They still got some power coming from somewhere. I don't know if it's coming from outside somewhere. They could be hitting the batteries in my car again. My truck's dead. I just quit buying batteries for it. I just parked it. So I don't know. I'm not sure yet where they're plugging in at, but they're plugging in somewhere. But anyway, um, I reduced the amount of frequencies coming into my house, and so I'm doing better. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. Um, what the main issue that I've been having lately is things breaking around the house. And I know that they're using the weapons to do it. It's like all of my major appliances are like breaking down and quitting. Well, it started out with my hot water heater. My hot water heater started leaking, so I had a friend to come out and fix that, and we got that fixed. And then a couple of weeks later, it started leaking again. I mean, it just like there was no fixing it. And then that's when my water line, all of my water lines under my sink started leaking. I had a water line outside that busted, and a friend came out and helped me fix that. Um, it started out with a hot water heater and the water lines busting. Um, and then I got all that fixed, and then that's when my vehicle started breaking down. The battery started going dead in my car, my truck, and I had to put my lawnmower in the shop three different times. The battery was being drained in it, and plus there was carburetor problems with it. Um, like three different times this happened. I mean, I can see if it happened once, but this was like three times in a row. And then my car again, I've had to put two batteries in my car, and the third battery that I put in the truck. After buying a third battery for the truck, I just stopped because I know what's happening. Somehow they can use these weapons to tear up all your appliances, all your vehicles, anything that you use. Okay, and then here lately, I've had my stove. My stove started leaking gas. I got that fixed, and then it turned around and it started leaking again. So I had to turn the gas off because there was gas leaking all in my house. So I got my gas turned off, and then my wash machine stopped spinning. It just quit working. And then, let's see, what else was it? Something else broke. I think it was another water line started leaking. Oh yeah, my microwave went out. I had to get a new microwave. Um, I've been having trouble with my computer. But luckily, I got a son that can work on that. He's into electronics. He works with electronics, so he helps me with that. It's like everything that I have to use, like our major appliances in my home and my vehicles and everything that I have to have is it's like breaking, you know. And and it's so frustrating because I'm like God is like I'm not a wealthy person. It's not like I have the money to just throw out there every month to keep fixing this stuff, And it's like, and I was so frustrated, and I know that's part of their plan to keep you frustrated so they can lower your vibrations. But I've been so frustrated lately that and then having to turn off my power too, just so I could breathe inside my house, and I just I just walked outside. And I started walking around, and I said, God, I feel like everything here is just being destroyed. Everything here in my property is just being destroyed, and I hadn't even finished a sentence. I didn't even get the. I didn't get finished with the sentence before it hit me. When God hit me, yes, it is, and it hit me so strong. It was like it was a quickening. He said it when he said it like a quickening that rose up. It started in my belly and it kind of rose up and went up out of my head. And it's like, yes, everything out here is being destroyed. That's not my creation. And when it hit me, I got so emotional. I got so emotional about it, because I already knew, and sometimes as humans we know things, but we don't really want to face them, or we know things are coming, and we know certain things are going to happen, but we don't want to think about it, because we're hoping we won't have to go through it, or we're hoping we won't have to face it. But when you see it happening, and you're feeling all the emotions, that's tied into it, and all the helplessness and the hopelessness that comes up with it, and you get so distraught and so depressed, and it's like you're overcome with all these emotions about what's going. There's so much, It's like there's so much happening. There's so much going on. But anyway, the emotions overcome you. Okay, but when I heard God say yes, it is. It hit me so hard. The realization of what God was saying hit me so hard, and it's like He started speaking. He said, This is not my creation. I did not create any of this. This is man-made." Yep, that's what He said. This is not mine. There's nothing out here that's mine, and there's nothing out here that's yours. It's not yours. It's not mine, and you can't take it with you. Okay. I already knew that I have already shifted in consciousness, okay? My consciousness has already shifted into the 5D New Earth. I know that. I've been doing that for the past 3 years. And I also knew that I can't take the 3D with me. I know that. I knew that, and I know that, okay? But there's a physical part of me that still lives in 3D, okay? And in 3D, you need these things, okay? You need all these things. And you need these things that are breaking. You need all these things to survive in the physical, okay? The 3D. And so I got into a deep conversation with God about it. I said, God, I know that I've shifted into 5D. I know that my consciousness has shifted. But I know my physical body has not caught up, okay? I'm working on that. But in the meantime, I'm still here in a physical body, and I still need these things to maintain my physical life. I said, how am I supposed to, my hot water heater, how am I supposed to have hot water if my hot water heater is broken? And it's like He said, you don't need hot water. the climate in New Earth is neither hot nor cold. The water's perfect. I said, okay. I said, how am I supposed to wash my clothes? How am I supposed to get my clothes clean? And he said, you don't need clothes in New Earth. Your body will be clothed with the light of God. I said, okay, God. What about my stove? I need my stove to cook my food. How am I going to cook my food? He said, you don't need to cook your food in New Earth. You will live off the fruits and the vegetables and herbs and the seeds of New Earth. I mean, it just started coming. I mean, it started coming right back at me. Everything I said, all the answer comes straight right back at me. And so I said, okay. What about my vehicles? I have to have my vehicles to get where I need to go. He says, you don't need a vehicle in New Earth. Your light body is your vehicle. Your energetic light body is your vehicle. You are light, and you will travel the cosmos with your light body. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. What about my lawnmower? I need to cut my grass. How am I going to cut my grass? You don't need to cut your grass in New Earth. The vegetation in New Earth is maintains itself. None of that will be needed in New Earth. Wow. Wow. So what you're saying is, it's time for me to make that physical shift right now. Yes. It's time for you to make that physical shift right now into New Earth. Your consciousness has made that shift. Now it's time for you to make the full, total shift into New Earth. And all this power that you were, all this power that's radiating you with all these chemicals inside your house, and this power that's hitting you with microwave energy, you don't need that. You don't need that because you have the power within you. You have your own power. You will generate your own power. You will be able to power whatever you need with your own energy. I'm telling you, folks, I was so speechless. I was so speechless over the responses I was getting from God to each question that I had. I was so speechless. And you know, it all makes perfect sense to me now. It makes perfect sense. God says, this is not what I created. This is not mine. This is not yours because you belong to me. You have shifted consciously into New Earth. Now it's time for you to shift physically into New Earth. All of this has to go. And then God reminded me of Revelation, where he talks about the new heaven and the new earth that's going to come down from above. The new heaven and the new earth. God says the old things will pass away and everything will become new. There'll be a new heaven and there'll be a new earth. All the old will pass away. Well, that's exactly what's happening, folks. Are you losing everything in your life? Is everything being destroyed around you? Is everything breaking? Or is everything falling apart? The old will pass away to make room for the new. I saw a video last night of Gina Hill talking about, or was it today? Talking about the two sons. And I heard people have been talking about the two sons. And even me, I mean, I've been out, the other night I was outside filming the moon. The sun. And it was about 7 o'clock in the evening. And I was filming the sun that was setting in the west. And I had it clearly on camera. the sun setting in the northwest. Then I looked to the east, and there was a light source in the east. And I said, what is that? Why is there a light source in the east when the sun is setting in the west? But now I know. Of course, we got two suns. We got two earths. We got two. We're in between two worlds, folks. We got two worlds going on. We got this 3D world and we got the 5D world that's already been created. That's here. Okay? It's already established and waiting for us to move into it. Of course, it makes sense that we would have two heavens, two earths, and two heavens, two earths, two atmospheres, and two suns. Yes. Of course it makes sense. So, wow. Here we are. So I'm getting all distressed and all upset over things breaking around my house, and the power in my house that's driving me outside. I can't even sleep in my bed for the frequencies that's coming from my electrical system in my house, and the radiation that they're turning up every day. I can't even stay inside my house. I'm being driven out. And everything in my house is breaking, tearing up, and everything outside is breaking and tearing up. Everything is falling to pieces around my property. And even myself, I'm falling to pieces. And God says, yes, let it go. Let it fall to pieces. You can't take it with you. You're not going to take it with you, so let it go. Okay, so that's where I'm at, folks. I've got to let it all go. I've got to let it all go. It's happening to me right now, and I don't know if it's happening to any of you guys, but if it's not happened yet, it will. Because this new earth is for everybody that's planning on staying around in New Earth. I mean, some people are leaving, okay? Some people are leaving because they made a decision not to move into New Earth. But those who are still here, they either got to shift into New Earth, or they're going to be left here in the O3D, and we already see what's happening there. Okay? We see it. So, it's all about making the shift, folks. It's all about making the shift. You got to make the shift in consciousness, yes, first. And then, once you do that, once you come to the realization that the 5D Earth is here, and you've made it an intention, and you shifted into that 5D consciousness, the physical is going to eventually follow. Okay, you cannot be in a 5D consciousness and stay in 3D physical Earth forever. You've got to make the shift. If you don't do it, it'll be done for you. And for most people, it's going to just be taken away from them, just like it is me. Yeah, it's all being taken away from me. I'm out of my comfort zone. My comfort's been taken away. My life has been totally turned upside down. There is no normal anymore. Nothing's normal anymore. Everything is in upheaval. But that's part of it. That's part of the process. So, this is a heads up, folks. If you're planning on moving into New Earth, you got to let it all go. because you can't take it with you. I love you guys.